Golf enthusiasts like myself are often challenged with how to feed our golf addiction when we can't be on a golf course. This can be a problem because most people don't have access to an indoor facility like this.
One of the easier solutions is to just watch it on TV. TV ratings for golf tournaments have actually gone up recently, which means there's a lot more fan involvement on the PGA Tour. Fans are expressing their interest in golf in several different ways, and one of them just involves picking up their phone and calling the PGA Tour whenever they see something on their television that they might consider a rules violation. And PGA Tour rules officials listen to these fans and often make decisions based on their calls. Several prominent golfers have been victimized by fans calling in to report rules violations in recent years. Usually this results in disqualification or a two-stroke penalty. Disqualifications are obviously significant because the player can no longer participate in the tournament, but two-stroke penalties are also a big deal. This happened at Tiger Woods a few weeks ago. A fan called in to report Tiger's ball moving 1/16 of an inch and he was given a two-shot penalty. You want to see what that looks like? If this two-stroke penalty would have never been assessed, Tiger would have moved from 11th place to 4th place, and he would be $139,000 richer. Now currently there's no rule against fans calling in, but there's also no rule that explicitly says that they're allowed to do it. A decision needs to be made soon whether or not this is okay. It's great that fans are calling in, but do we really want them to influence the outcome of a golf tournament? No. First and foremost, golf is a game of tradition. These are the rules of golf, and for hundreds and hundreds of years there's been a select group of people that have been responsible for enforcing these rules. It's the player, the competitors, and the caddies. And when situations get complicated, rules officials step in. But this makes sense because players and caddies have a stake in the competition. They want to ensure that everyone is playing under the same rules. Fans, on the other hand, do not fit into the equation because they don't have a stake in the competition and they can pick and choose who they want to call rules violations on. Essentially, fans are tattletales, and this tattletaling can be very selective. Take a player with high popularity like Tiger Woods and compare him to a player with relatively low popularity like Tim Herron, otherwise known as Lumpy. People might pay more attention to what Tiger Woods is doing than Lumpy, so they might be more tempted to call a rules violation on him as opposed to Lumpy. I'm sorry, I just love saying the word Lumpy.
Another reason why golf fans should not be allowed to call in to report rules violations is because nobody actually respects the decisions that are made.
Even when the right thing is done, it still stirs up controversy. It happened to a player on the LPGA Tour a few years ago. She clearly violated the rules and should have been disqualified and was correctly disqualified. However, there were countless blogs and press releases talking about how questionable the decision was. You can read more about it in the description below. If fans are given the right to call in and report rules violations and no one actually respects it, that's a huge problem for golf. But I haven't even discussed the most important reason why fans shouldn't be able to call in to report rules violations. It's because it's not fair to the field as a whole. In most professional golf tournaments, there will be 156 players in the field. Networks have to choose which shots get on TV because it's impossible to get every shot on camera. And so they pick, obviously, the high-name players, and they also pick the ones that are leading the tournament. The problem with this is that these are the only shots that fans are able to see. These are the only shots then that are susceptible to being called in for rules violations. So if we go back to the Tiger Woods incident at the BMW Championship, what if that happened to the guy in last place? Well, it wouldn't have been on TV, so it wouldn't have been a penalty. The point is that you're not actually seeing the entire golf tournament when you watch it on TV. If you were to sit on a couch and watch 5 hours of a golf broadcast for 4 days, you would see maybe 2,000 shots. And most PGA tournaments, if you add up all the shots in the field, you get about 35,000 shots. So that's about 6% at most. So at most, you're going to see 6% of a golf tournament on TV. Well, what about the other 94%? You don't see it. Fans can't call in to report rules violations on that 94%. You've got different players being held to different standards, and that just goes against everything that golf stands for. Honesty, respect, the integrity of the field, it's all gone. It makes no sense. The PGA Tour needs to adopt a rule that prevents fans from being able to call in and influence a golf tournament. Yes, they may get some calls wrong, but players and caddies want the freedom to enforce these rules and will accept these minor consequences.